Here is a point-by-point summary of the history of Palestine and Israel. Ancient history. Early settlements, 3000 BC, 1200 BC. The region of modern-day Israel and Palestine has a long history of human habitation, with various ancient civilizations, including Canaanites, Philistines, and Israelites, settling in the area. Babylonian Captivity, 586 BC. The Babylonians captured Jerusalem and destroyed the first temple, leading to the exile of many Jews from the region. Roman rule, 1st century BC, 4th century CE. Palestine became part of the Roman Empire, and in 70 CE, the Romans destroyed the Second Temple and dispersed Jews. Medieval and Ottoman period. Byzantine and Islamic Rule, 4th century, 7th century. Palestine saw shifts in control between the Byzantine Empire and various Islamic caliphates, including the Umayyad and Abbasid dynasties. Crusades, 11th century, 13th century. Christian Crusaders temporarily captured Jerusalem during the Middle Ages, but Muslim rulers eventually regained control. Ottoman Empire, 16th century, 20th century. The Ottoman Empire ruled over Palestine for several centuries until the end of World War I. Modern era. British Mandate, 1920 to 1948. After World War I, the League of Nations granted Britain control over Palestine, leading to increased Jewish immigration. Tensions between Jewish and Arab communities grew. United Nations Partition Plan, 1947. The UN proposed a plan to partition Palestine into separate Jewish and Arab states, with Jerusalem as an international city. Jews accepted the plan, but Arabs rejected it. Israeli Declaration of Independence, 1948. On May 14, 1948, David Ben-Gurion declared the establishment of the State of Israel, leading to the Arab-Israeli War. Arab-Israeli Wars, 1948, 1956, 1967, 1973. These conflicts resulted in territorial changes, including Israel's control of the West Bank, Gaza Strip, Golan Heights, and Sinai Peninsula. Occupation and settlements. Israel's occupation of the West Bank and Gaza Strip since 1967 has led to the establishment of Israeli settlements, a major source of conflict. Peace processes. Numerous attempts at peace negotiations, including the Oslo Accords, 1993, and Camp David Summit, 2000, have sought to address the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, but a final resolution remains elusive. Intifadas. The First Intifada, 1987 to 1993, and Second Intifada, 2000 to 2005, were Palestinian uprisings against Israeli occupation, leading to violence and negotiations. Hamas rule in Gaza. Following a 2006 election, Hamas took control of the Gaza Strip, leading to a split between the West Bank and Gaza. Recent developments. The situation remains complex, with ongoing tensions, sporadic violence, and international efforts to find a two-state solution or alternative resolutions to the conflict. It's important to note that the history of Palestine and Israel is deeply complex, with differing perspectives on many key events and issues. This summary provides a broad overview of significant historical milestones. A more detailed historical essay on the history of Palestine and Israel. This complex and contentious history has been marked by conflicts, negotiations, and shifting political dynamics. Here's an in-depth exploration. The ancient and medieval periods. The history of the land now known as Palestine and Israel is deeply rooted in antiquity. It has been home to various peoples and cultures over millennia. Among the earliest inhabitants were the Canaanites, followed by the Israelites, who established the Kingdom of Israel in the 12th century BCE. This region also played a significant role in the religious history of Judaism, Christianity, and Islam. During the Roman era, the Jewish temple in Jerusalem was destroyed in 70 CE, leading to the dispersion of Jewish communities across the Roman Empire. Subsequently, the area came under Byzantine rule before the Islamic conquests of the 7th century, which ushered in centuries of Islamic rule. The Crusades and Ottoman Empire. The Middle Ages witnessed a series of crusades in which European Christian forces sought to capture Jerusalem from Islamic rulers. While these crusades resulted in brief periods of Christian control, they ultimately failed to establish lasting European rule in the region. In 1516, the Ottoman Empire, which was predominantly Muslim, took control of Palestine and the surrounding areas. The Ottomans ruled for several centuries, overseeing a diverse population that included Jews, Christians, and Muslims. The region remained under Ottoman control until the end of World War I. British Mandate and the emergence of the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. Following World War I, the Ottoman Empire collapsed, and the League of Nations granted Britain a mandate to govern Palestine. During this period, Jewish immigration increased significantly due to the Balfour Declaration, 1917, which expressed British support for a national home for the Jewish people in Palestine. This led to tensions between Jewish and Arab communities. In 1947, the United Nations proposed a partition plan to create separate Jewish and Arab states in Palestine, with Jerusalem under international administration. The plan was accepted by Jewish leaders but rejected by Arab leaders, resulting in the 1948 Arab-Israeli War. Israel declared its independence, and neighboring Arab states intervened in the conflict. Post-1948 period. The 1948 war led to a significant displacement of Palestinians, resulting in the creation of Palestinian refugee communities. The armistice lines established after the war marked the borders of Israel, the West Bank, and Gaza Strip. Subsequent conflicts, including the Suez Crisis, 1956, the Six-Day War, 1967, and the Yom Kippur War, 1973, further shaped the region's political landscape. Israel occupied the West Bank and Gaza Strip during the Six-Day War, leading to the establishment of Israeli settlements in these territories, a contentious issue to this day. Peace processes and ongoing conflict. Efforts to resolve the Israeli-Palestinian conflict have included peace negotiations such as the Oslo Accords in the 1990s. These agreements aimed to establish a framework for Palestinian self-governance in parts of the West Bank and Gaza Strip. However, achieving a final status agreement on issues like borders, refugees, and Jerusalem has proven elusive. The issue of Palestinian statehood remains a central point of contention. Palestinians seek an independent state in the West Bank and Gaza Strip, with East Jerusalem as its capital. Israel, on the other hand, emphasizes security concerns and has concerns about the viability of a two-state solution. Hamas and Gaza. The Gaza Strip, under Hamas control since 2006, has been a particular flashpoint. The international community, including Israel and Egypt, has imposed restrictions on the movement of goods and people into and out of Gaza due to security concerns. This has led to humanitarian challenges and periodic clashes between Hamas and Israel. In conclusion, the history of Palestine and Israel is a complex tapestry of ancient roots, religious significance, colonial legacies, and contemporary geopolitical conflicts. It's a history marked by deep divisions, competing national narratives, and unresolved issues. Achieving a lasting peace remains a formidable challenge, and the quest for a just resolution to this conflict continues to be a prominent issue in global politics.